The Cartesian coordinate system. You probably remember that from high school math or 8th grade math or whatever that was, 9th grade or something like that. Anyway, what is a Cartesian coordinate system? If you're just to jar your memory, well, it's this thing right here. It's kind of where you have your different segments of the square. You got this, I forget what they called it, but quadrant 1, yeah, quadrant, that's it. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, everything over here is all positive. Here's y positive and x negative. This is all negative. This is x negative, y positive. You know, it's important to be familiar with your Cartesian coordinate system because you will be using it in AutoCAD. That's how everything knows whether it needs to go right, left, up, or down. Now, typically, right off the cuff here, I mean, we're drawing. We don't really have to enter any information. We may have to enter some information at some point in time, especially you know, when we get some really complicated drawings or moving some geometry around. And there's also a question on the test that will challenge your ability to use Cartesian coordinates to draw with. And I'm going to show you that real quickly. Now, to see how our screen is set up here, our screen right here, we're in quadrant 1. That's where we kind of default to. Here's your, if you get in here, follow my cursor down to the bottom left corner and look on your screen. You'll also see where there is the XY coordinate indicator. And of course, I can pan this around and move it. And then I can see over here now it would be in the negative numbers. And let me demonstrate that. And I'm going to click on these 3 lines down here at the bottom right and show coordinates. Okay, so there's my coordinates right there in right here, right. There we go. Right there, those are my drawing coordinates. Now, if my cursor is over here in the upper right portion, you can see both numbers, or all numbers, are positive. If I jump over here to the other side, you can see that I have a negative 3.09, blah, 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 but I'm still positive in the y direction. Get out here to where you're negative x, negative y, and then over here where you're positive x, negative y, and then back up here where you're positive on both. Okay, so basically that's what this is. The whole thing is a Cartesian coordinate system. However, sometimes in your commands, you may be drawing over here, and you want something to move over to the left a little bit or down a little bit, and that's where you would use the negative inputs to get it to move along that particular axis. So in general, that's our coordinate system. And to, let's see, show you how to draw with that. To draw with our coordinate system, of course, we're going to turn off dynamic input. So if we go right down here to the toolbar, you'll see dynamic input right there. It's a little box. It's blue right now. It's got a little rectangle and then a square, a plus mark up in the upper left corner there. If you don't have that in your status bar, just go over here to the 3 lines, this menu, click on it, and then find dynamic input and click on that to get the check mark to show up. Check mark shows up, says that you have your dynamic input on. All right, and then that will put this icon right down here. Now all you have to do is to turn it on and off is click in the box, and that turns it off. Okay, so everything that's kind of highlighted in blue is on. If it's just black, normal, it is off. So now our coordinate system is off. So in commands I want to do, I pretty much have to type them right down here. So the first thing I'll do is I'll start as a polyline. So I'm going to do poly, and I'm going to select polyline. Could have just typed p-line also. All right, it says to specify the first point. Okay, so my first point, I'm going to type 5. Now, let me take that back. Let's do 10, 10. And that actually says 1, 10. 10, 10. And I'm typing that in right down here at the bottom in the command line. So I'll hit enter, and then of course my cursor pops over here to the 10, 10 point, 10x, 10y. Okay, now let's say the next point I might want to be at 5, 17. Okay, so my line's actually going to come out here to the left some and then up some to make that 5, 17. So 5, 17, enter, and there it is. All right, and next I might want it to go, let's see, I'm not going to go up any, I'm going to go X, I'm going to go 20, 0. I'm not sure how that's going to work there. No, it's going to be relative. So it's going to be, let's go 20, 17 to keep it on the same horizontal plane there. Okay. All right. So, and then of course, to connect it back, you can either pull it down here or just type in 10, 10, and you can also type C, enter. Well, that used to work anyway. 2D pointer, let's see. There we go. C, enter did work. I didn't hit it right, or I hit it too hard or something like that. But that's how you draw with coordinates. Now you'll also, even though you're in this section of the quadrant 1, sometimes when you're typing in commands to move geometry one place or the other, if I want to move that over to the left, that whole piece, or even just a piece of it, then I would move it by using a negative number. If I wanted to move it over to the left, or if I wanted to move it down, I would use a negative y axis number to do that by command. Okay, so that's how you do it by Cartesian coordinate. There is another way of doing it kind of like that by using relative coordinates, which let's see, we'll go over that a little bit later. I'm not sure. I don't think that is on the certification thing, but anyway, we'll know. So good luck with that. Just leave me any questions if you have any.